On the first day of this bicycle trip, I simply leave my house, ride up through Port Matilda on South Eagle Valley Road, and then up past Milesburg on North Eagle Valley Road and turn down Highway 26. Then ride through Howard to the Bald Eagle Primitive Campsite. And here I am riding through Port Matilda. There's Likens Market off to the right. Good place to stop, get some snacks. This highway is also called Alternate 220. And there you can see the flowers in the ditches that just started to turn blue. Beautiful. This is the intersection at Julian, Pennsylvania. And now I'm riding through Union, Pennsylvania. That pink building is an antique shop on the left. If you turn left at this intersection, you can go up Rattlesnake Pike, which I've shown on other rides in this series. And here we are just past the Interstate 80 exchange, and you can see a truck over on its side. My best guess is it just got its wheels over in that ditch and flipped itself over. Okay, we're now turning down Highway 26. I'm going to go into Howard, Pennsylvania. We're going to cross the Bald Eagle Lake, headed to the primitive campsite. You can see the lake off to the right, and there are people that park their cars and fish along here all the time. In some previous videos this spring, this lake was, you could see the dry bed. They had really drained this lake down in the spring. Bring it back up in the summer. There's some fishermen. And now we're in Howard. Howard's just a little bedroom community of State College, really. And we're going to go through Howard and then turn to our left and go back to the primitive campground at Bald Eagle State Park. Before you get to the primitive campground, you get onto gravel road going into it, and you can see my handlebar bag, how much it's vibrating, and then look at the trees. They're not vibrating at all. The GoPro really has great stabilization because it's just mounted on my handlebars. And this is the place where I pick up an honor envelope to camp at the primitive area. It was up a nasty little hill, and so I'm struggling with this heavy bike to get up there. Okay. There you can see no alcoholic beverages, and there are bear in the area. The very first campsite is the campground host, and there's always a host there. primitive campground area is just a big loop that goes east and then comes back west. It's all gravel. There are RV sites that are right off the road. That'd be an RV site just to our left. And tent sites, most of which you can walk back off the road and get into. And then there are some restrooms with pit toilets. There's an RV site just off to the left. The restrooms have pit toilets, no running water. That's why it's called primitive. And there are some water spigots along the road. I think maybe 3 on the south side here and about 3 more on the north side. There are not a lot of water spigots along here. But you do have potable water. There's a water spigot just to the right, up that little path. And then here's one of the restrooms. That little path right there takes you up to a tent site, and then on the left is an RV site. There are 70 sites in this park. Now I'm headed out of the park. I would have liked to have gotten in site 68, which is just coming up. There's a little 4-wheeler. I think this is the camp host. Yes, it is.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
All right.
And then somebody's in site 68.
Oh, I think the site's taken.
That's the
Yep, I
only
believe so.
other camper in the primitive area this
Water
time.
right
There's a
there.
water spigot off to our left.
Let's go up here one more.
And I'm going to get off my bike and check out site 69. But eventually I go up to site 70 on the left up a trail, which you'll see here in just a second. If you look to the left, there's the trail up to site
think
10,
this
site
one's
70.
70.
That's eventually where I end up.
Oh, come on now. Get over there. Go down and look at it.
That's the trail down to tent site 69. Again, there was only me and one other camper and the host in this whole primitive area. That was my campsite at 70. Beautiful. On day 2, we leave our campsite and then drop down, go through Blanchard and then through Mill Hall, up through Lock Haven. All these are on back roads. And then up through Avis and then Jersey Shore. And then we hit the Pine Creek Rail Trail up to our campsite at 3 lean-tos on the Pine Creek Rail Trail system. Here we're in Blanchard, Pennsylvania, and we're turning past the Liberty Baptist Church onto Bald Eagle Street. And we are on some now very low traffic roads. Here I am back on Highway 150. We're ready to cross over this bridge into Flemington and then immediately into Lock Haven. But there's some construction on the bridge, so I pull in my regular place. Don't try to advance up the side here. There's really no berm. Just waiting for that light up there to change, and I want to go with the traffic. So here we go. And I'm trying to go as hard as I can, trying to stay up with the traffic. And this is what kind of aggravates me. That truck just couldn't let me go ahead of it. So again, I can stay with traffic right in here. I'm staying with that truck just fine. Pedaling hard. Construction's over. This is Flemington. But just around a couple of corners we'll be in Lock Haven. And I'm going to make a turn right past this house and be on some very quiet streets going through Loch Haven. There's a lovely little park just outside of Loch Haven, just on the east side, where I stop and drink some water and have a candy bar. And here I am on River Road, east of Loch Haven. There are just some beautiful farms here, and beautiful farmland. Very pretty riding. I've ridden through Avis, Pennsylvania, and this is Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania, and I'm about ready to get on the Pine Creek rails to trails and go down to a little restroom to fill up all my water bottles. When I'm on the rails to trails and staying where the lean-tos are at that campsite, there's no potable water, so I need to take all the water I'm going to use along for the night, the afternoon, that supper that night, breakfast the next morning with me, before I can get back here and fill up water bottles again. This is a nice paved trail going into Jersey Shore, and I am on the furthest south part of the Pine Creek Rail Trail. Easy pedaling. Again, though, you can see all the beautiful flowers, weeds actually, flowers flowered out there on the side. There's a parking lot right down here by this restroom that is cameraed, and so it's a lovely place to park your car if you want to go bicycle riding up the Pine Creek Rail Trail or leave your car overnight. Perfectly safe place. We've never had any problems leaving a vehicle at this spot. There you can see the restrooms are coming up. They have nice little bicycle repair places here with air pumps and things like that. And when I come in, there's a little family, father, mother, and it looks like a little girl with a bicycle. They're just getting ready to go out on the trail. And I'm pulling in. I'm going to go use the restroom and fill up my water bottles. And here I'm pulling back out, and that same family is coming back towards the restroom. And I don't think they ever got that baby on the bicycle. She's being carried on her mama's back. And here we are coming up to cross the highway that I turned off earlier to get on this trail. We're going to cross and continue north on the Pine Creek Rail Trail. I have to be careful. This is kind of a busy little highway. No traffic coming, so I get right across. And now I will cross a highway once or twice, but this trail is about 62 miles long with no traffic, just these gates that I dislike. That one's not too bad. And here we are officially on the Pine Creek Rail Trail. The part I like, it's crushed stone. There's some guys I'm trying to get around. They don't hear me say
on your left.
And this fellow looks quite uncomfortable with that massive backpack.
Excuse me, I'm going to go right between you guys.
And they sure didn't listen to my on your left. And here's one of the lovely bridges. There are many of these on the trail. One of the lovely bridges across the Pine Creek. Beautiful trout fishing in this creek. In fact, I have a buddy who's he actually comes down the following morning to give me an egg sandwich. Bicycles 25 miles down to give me an egg sandwich, and he's up on the Pine Creek with some friends, renting a cabin, but trout fishing. He usually rides a bike in the morning and then fishes in the afternoon. And this is the lean-to where I'm going to stay. It's just a beautiful spot. There are 3 lean-tos at this location. There you could, if you look really closely, you can see all 3 of them. The third one is way cut off, just a piece showing on the left of the screen. And here I am, I put the drone up, and that's the lean-to I'm going to stay in. And I'm going to go down to the middle lean-to with the drone. And the path to get in here is so tiny. It's just right by the edge of this lean-to that's coming up. Right in there, you have to come down that little path, so there's almost never anybody in here camping. And I put the drone up in the air just to give you an idea about what the landscape looks like around in this area. It's just beautiful. And it was blowing hard, and there must have been a tulip tree nearby because it blew this tulip tree flower right onto the picnic table where I was sitting. Beautiful flower. I love tulip trees. And here I am cooking supper and pouring just the right amount of water into my cooker. I have a jet boil, and I like those little tiny canisters. Usually there's a picnic table around, so it's pretty stable. Bigger canister would be more stable if you were like out in the woods or something. And this is going to be real time. I'll show you how fast this jet boil boils water, because I'm going to eat a Mountain House freeze-dried supper right out of that package. Tear off the top part. Be careful, keep all the trash. I'm going to pack it back out. Actually, I'll put it back in that bag, that Mountain House bag, when I'm done. There's one of the little dehydration bags you take out. And then I think this was a cup and a half of water. It's the only thing I'm going to have to clean after I'm done with this meal is 1 spoon. That spoon right there. I can hear my water starting to steam in there. Check, it's not quite, almost. You can see the steam coming up in a little boil, but I'm going to take it to a rolling boil. Again, I haven't cut any time out. This is real time right here. Cup and a half of boiling water. Done. I think I'm done. Check one more time. Oh yeah. Turn that off. See the steam pour out of there. And then I can pick the whole mess up and just pour that cup and a half of water right into the Mountain House bag. Give it a good stir. I think that's beef and noodles, I'm not sure. Seal it up. Wait 5 minutes. Give it another stir. Wait 4 minutes. Open it up. And here's supper. And then once I'm done with that, I just put all the tear parts in the little bag back into that pouch, seal it up, wash my spoon, and I have had a wonderful supper. There are really 2 servings in there. You can see my tent. my bicycle, all the bags, some clothes hanging on the wall in the lean-to behind me. This was a wonderful trip, and tomorrow I'll bike 64 miles back home.